So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 problems here that look a lot tougher and a lot scarier than they actually are. Each of them is going to be asking us to graph a line though. So in our first problem, we want to graph a line that has an x-intercept at 3, 0 and a y-intercept at 0, -1. Looks tough, and if I ask you to write the equation of the line, it's maybe a little trickier. But if you're asked to graph it, we know that the x-intercept is at 3, 0. So if I were to go to 3, 0, there's going to be a dot there. That's what that means to have an x-intercept there. We know the y-intercept is going to be at 0, -1, which is right there. If you think about it, to make a line, if you have 2 points on the line, there's only one spot this line can go. We already know 2 dots on it. It's got to look just like this. So I can draw in my line with no other information, and I'm done. That's the graph, the only graph in the world that will fit that description. So if you know 2 points on a line, sure, they make it tougher by talking about intercepts and stuff. Who cares? 2 points on a line, you just draw them, you connect them, it's over. That's all you really need. On my second problem though, they give me the slope of my line and then they tell me a point on it. So I only know 1 point. Looks tougher. And if I wanted to write the equation, maybe it's a little trickier. But if you just want the graph, I know -1, 4 is on my graph. That'd be right up there. So -1, 4 is on my graph. And I know my slope is -2, or as a fraction, -2/1. So if you think about what slope means here for a second, this means that if I go rise over run, if I go down 2/1, I'm going to hit another dot on my graph. That's what slope does. I know this point's on there. So if I go down 2/1, there has to be a dot right there. If there's not, then my slope would be lying. So this has to be on the graph. Then it's just like the other problem. I know 2 dots. I can draw my graph, and I am done. Just like that. One more example on this video, same sort of thing. Line with a slope of 0.5. I don't really like slope written as a decimal. I'm going to turn this into a fraction. 0.5 is the same thing as 1/2. Now I know a point on my graph. I know this graph is going to hit 2, -1, 2, 3, 4, -5 down there. So 2, -5 is going to look like that. And I know my slope is 1/2. If I go up 1/2, I should land on my graph. If I don't land right there, my slope was lying to me. This point has to be there. So I can draw my graph, and I'm done. So all 3 of those problems, if you know how points work, you know how slope works, you can graph things without that much difficulty.